Hello, I hit the button. We should be live on Twitch. Welcome back to Uncanny Adventures, the Wretched West, for what is very likely our finale episode. So last session, our investigators teamed up with a certain Walter Pennebaker as they descended on the town's dam. The dam protects the town of Pawheton from the Pawheton River. And if the dam were to suddenly no longer be there, the creek that flows through the town of Pawheton would turn into a raging river and destroy the small town and those that are inside. So, our investigators have ridden to the dam and are sitting on a hill, sort of overlooking, kind of assessing the situation. They have seen other members of the town, locals that Delilah is very familiar with, and Jeremiah and Hudson are somewhat familiar with, and Lucas pretty much doesn't really know who these people all are. And they seem to be doing some construction work currently on the dam. So, as we come back into all of you, sitting on this slope, you've managed to sort of stay to the tree line and kind of out of sight. You're looking down at this situation that's going on. What are you doing? What are your plans?
We do people introductions as much as I want to get going?
Sure, we can. Do you want to start with Delilah?
Sure. My name is Theater Nerd. I play Delilah, our saloon girl, who's like real tempted to be like, look, I'm unarmed, only not really be unarmed.
And how about Dylan?
Hi, I'm Dylan. I play Jeremiah Brown, who's he's on a mission from God, and hoping he doesn't have to see any more angels today. Or fire, because it's firophobic.
And how about Celts?
I am Celts, or the Celts. I'll be playing Lucas, who is the bug rodeo champion, I think, of the group now. And I'm going to shoot everything I possibly can today. Like, just anything. So no sudden movements, because good chance it could be one of you.
Lucas took Ride 'em Cowboy to a new height.
Exactly. he phrased that phrase, Ride 'em Cowboy.
I like it. And how about Jamie?
Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm playing Hudson, who last session buried his wife. And that's all I need to say about what his motivation's going to be like.
We love you, Katie. Boy. Wherever you are. Alright, so we come back in as you all sit on this hill overlooking the dam. You see this activity going on. These people that a lot of you know well, sort of working. You've watched as Reverend Duffy, who you all last saw up in the woods on Mount Humboldt with you all, as the Migo were attacking. As he's strolling across the upper level, kind of overseeing what's happening, there is a very familiar horse tied off behind the building on the near side of the dam. Just kind of around the back, you just kind of get a glimpse of it as it's sort of moving around at the end of its rope. And Duffy is just walking the length, sort of looking at everything that's going on here, kind of overseeing what's happening. And this is where we find you. What are you all going to do?
Delilah, is that your dynamite?
I doubt it. I mean, I bought it at the general store. Also,
well, they took your horse.
Yeah, he's a bastard. I don't know if you realize this.
Well, yeah, but wasn't your dynamite with the horse?
Yes.
So
I didn't have a detonator, so they have their own supply.
Just asking.
I mean, I had my detonator. It wasn't on the horse, which it's somewhere up the hill, so I guess theoretically he could have taken it. I highly doubt that that's the order of events that occurred. But I don't know, I was passed out, so I guess I can't confirm nor deny really answer your question at all. However, I'm gonna go try to reason with the Reverend. So here's a gun, here's my other knife. I'm gonna hide this one up higher on my thigh. Wish me luck.
You sure about?
I don't think he's gonna talk.
you caused them to turn into that creature. Didn't you? The last time you tried to reason with them.
No, that wasn't reasoning. That was action.
Well, I think he's gonna remember that. And I'll be happy about it.
My goal is to distract him long enough for you all to come up with a better plan.
Oh boy.
Don't you think maybe we should have a plan before we distract him?
Well, okay, fine, but I'm not doing anything other than distraction.
I mean, we could just go mess with all their dynamite.
I mean, that was also part of my plan.
It's not a bad idea.
He's got a bunch of folks from town down there helping him.
Yes, and they are not.
They ain't acting normal.
Yeah, they're not doing anything of their own volition.
No, don't seem that way.
Maybe we can slap it out of them.
How many of them are down there?
You have taken a quick head count, and of what you can see, there looks like there's about 9 to 10 people working at various locations around the dam. That
And that
includes the
includes
Reverend.
Duffy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I got an idea, and I'm gonna pull out both my revolvers and kind of check the chambers like against each other, like kind of like slide them down like that, and get them to spin off of each other. I got 12 ideas.
Well, I've got. Hudson's gonna look at all his guns. I
So
can't
between-
count that high.
between the two of us, we have plenty of ideas.
Yeah, except for guns don't work, or haven't
Well,
worked.
Not against
Not against.
the good Reverend, perhaps, but I mean, Lucas has proven in the past that he's really good at shooting people with the leg. So we don't even necessarily have to kill these poor folks if they ain't in their right mind. We just kind of
Oh,
have to.
I'm not talking about the poor folk. I could care less what happens to them. What I'm concerned about is the Reverend. He is the mastermind, or maybe he's not. The tree tentacle thing inside of him probably is. And quite
Exactly.
frankly, it could be that the Reverend's not of his right mind.
Well, I don't really care anymore. So
Oh, y'all. Oh, Lord. Lord, give my friends the clarity to not. I don't even know. I don't even know anymore. Oh, God.
Morality's out the window,
You-
creature.
you want us to
Morality's out the
save
window.
the quote-unquote Reverend,
Mm.
who is a monster
Mm-hmm.
and is responsible for my wife being dead, and you don't want me to shoot him repeatedly
Well,
in the
Hudson,
face.
Hudson, if
him I
you're
don't
gonna,
mind.
Hudson, if you're gonna use that logic, it's really my fault. Reverend, she blew herself up because I shot him. Just saying.
Well, didn't need to know that right now. Could have waited.
I mean, I'm not making out of this, so I'd rather you know the truth now.
So what's our plan? Go shoot them all up within the leg, except for Duffy? Hey, Pennebaker.
I would prefer we have the least amount of casualties as possible if we can. If these-
Pennebaker, what's your contribution?
What? Well, I mean, first and foremost, I do not want the town to go underwater. I have quite an
No.
investment in the longevity of Pawheton. I mean, up until this morning, I thought the Reverend was a very straightforward, God-fearing man who seemed able to be reasoned with. At this point, I'm rather confused about the whole situation, to tell you the honest to God truth. But I mean, I know a lot of those people down there. Maybe we can reason with them. I mean, maybe I'm a good talker. I could go in and say a thing or two and see if I could, find out what's going on. If we could diffuse literally the situation.
When you go on mind on me, where do you want me to shoot you?
Well, I would prefer you don't shoot me.
If I think we should come to the agreement that if the mind numb people don't take any aggressive actions against us, then we shouldn't take any aggressive actions against them.
Define aggressive actions.
Like actually attack you. Yes, I understand that they are setting dynamite on the dam, but they're not doing it because they want to.
I mean, we don't know that.
What if we
We don't have any evidence that it's anything different right now.
what if we got our hands on one of them to ask? And he's sort of looking like down at the various individuals.
How do you do that without tipping off the Reverend?
I mean, right now he's gone over there, and he points distantly across the dam. There's a couple of them down this end of the dam.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean,
Okay, I know I didn't like you, and I know we set aside our differences, but that actually was a good idea.
It was. Yeah.
I don't think any of us had considered.
I am a businessman, and planning and that sort of thing is my cup of tea.
It's true. You want to go into a battle having some lay of the land.
Well, are you gonna go alone, or do you need backup?
Well, I mean, it depends. Am I going down to talk to him, or is this a snatch and grab opportunity? Because usually the snatch and grab, I pay my boys to go do that.
I think if we are going to talk to them, we should do the snatch and grab first, just to see if it'll work at all.
Also, I don't think we want to question them too close to the dam. Like,
So snatch and grab. Seems like the best option.
So, you all can roll me a spot hidden to kind of assess people's
Which one we
whereabouts.
think is best.
Yes, people's whereabouts in this situation.
well,
Well, that was not very good.
no. Green dice.
Mm-hmm.
Die.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's going well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spend the 4 luck to make it a success. I was just waiting to see if anybody succeeded before I spent it.
I only have 4 luck, so.
Well, I was at
Oh
30,
my
so
God.
I'm still good. Yeah, I'll spend that 4 luck.
So, as all of you are looking around and you sort of are eyeing down where Ted and Tim Phillips are working with Zeke Flint, a little ways down the slope of the dam, and you're thinking, all right, we could take maybe one of them if they turn their backs. Hudson, you notice Milt Becker come out from the side building on the near side of the dam, and he sort of walks by where Shadow, Delilah's horse, is, and is kind of up there on his own, kind of working in that area at the current moment.
About how far away is he from us?
You're probably where you are up on this slope, kind of set back. You're maybe probably between 120 to 150 feet away from that side of the dam.
Okay. Hudson's just gonna point that one.
Really, you think so? Well,
He's already by himself.
it's true.
I'm just afraid it's going to turn into a confrontation and he's going to be a tentacle monster too.
Now, Jeanette, there's a question. How much cover would there be covering that ground?
Looking at it, you can see that the trees run up close to where that building is. But you think you could get the cover of the trees for a good ways leading to it, and perhaps the building itself could give you some cover from people further along the dam.
On the dam, yeah.
If you came in at a certain angle.
Okay. Yeah, that might work, Hudson. Yeah.
I mean, who's gonna be part of the snatch and grab?
I'm pretty sneaky, I think. So I could come along.
I can rope him up.
You're pretty good at that. We could do that.
Do we want to split, or all
Like-
go?
I think we kind of have to. I think that's the most wise
So-
decision here.
Padre, Lucas, and Pennebaker go snatch and grab.
Pennebaker, like, eyes go a little wide. Like, wait, what?
I mean, are we gonna tie him up and drag him back here to talk to him?
He came out of a building, didn't he?
Yes, there's a building on that side.
I think we should all go there, take him into the building, and hope that the building is empty. Because, quite honestly, we're going to talk to him and we're probably going to do whatever we're going to do.
Well, how about we all go and only Pennebaker and maybe another one of us go in the building, the rest stay outside.
Okay. Yeah, like hidden in the trees a bit. Like, yeah.
Just to make sure like Duffy's not coming to.
I also think that I'm probably the best equipped person to talk to people.
Question? Yeah. Possibly.
I mean, I could charm the pants off someone, but
I can charm the pants off someone, and his pants probably literally would be off. Just saying.
Goodness.
Padre, you know what I do for a living, right?
I know. I just yeah.
You just didn't want to think about it. Is that what you're telling me?
Not in that way of speaking. No, not particularly. No.
Well, at least you're honest with me. I can appreciate that.
So do we all want to like stagger going there so we don't all walk as one in case
If someone is seen or whatever.
someone is seen, we don't all have to scatter?
Not your worst idea.
Yeah.
Like a reverse V formation, like while birds migrate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking Mighty Ducks, but okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I read this book about some Mighty Ducks. Anyway.
You've spent some
We had
time in the Northeast, have you?
I mean, I come from Chicago, so sort of. It's more north and east of where we're at.
Pennebaker's like, you come from Chicago? I come from Chicago, too.
Of course you do.
Is this the time, Pennebaker?
I'm sorry.
Pennebaker, we're never
room.
going to be friends
Read the room,
in
buddy.
this relationship.
All
To
right.
save the town.
It's all right. So we're all going then. We're gonna leave our horses here and slip up to that building and snatch that gentleman, Mr. Becker over there.
Well, I mean,
You haven't been offering any other ideas. You suggested this.
she's got you there.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you want, I'll I guess I can lead the charge.
I mean, I'll go. Like I said, scatter,
Stagger
stagger.
so that if someone is spotted, we're not all screwed.
All right. Well,
You
then-
first, though. I like that idea.
all right then. Pennebaker dismounts, ties off his horse, looks down at his wolfhound, and says,
This is already gonna go bad.
Stay here,
That's
boy.
why I suggested the stagger, because I'm like, this is gonna go bad.
And Pennebaker is going to kind of go sort of, lean double over, like moving between the trees to move toward this building. As you all hang back and watch.
Are you kidding me?
If he dies, I ain't even sad.
All right.
Oh my
so,
god.
So you all watch as you kind of hold back and hesitate and let him sort of go ahead, and he runs between the trees and goes, and then as he gets to the edge of the tree line and he's coming to the one tree to stop, you see him lean in and go, what? And he face plants out as he trips over a root and just sort of slides a little in the dirt, drawing the attention of Milt Becker, who had his back to the area of the trees as he's coming up. And Becker, you all see Becker spin around in surprise, and he's holding a shovel, and he kind of holds up the shovel. Oh, Mr. Pennebaker, is that you? And Pennebaker's kind of rolls over, stands up, and dusts himself off. Yes, Mr. Becker, it is me. What may I ask is going on around here? And Becker kind of puts the shovel down, so he's holding the handle and got the shovel to the ground. He goes, well, we're prepping for the end times here, Mr. Pennebaker. The Reverend said that it's a coming and that we got to do our part, so we're all here to help. So did you come too? And Pennebaker just sort of kind of stands up slow, dusting himself off, picks up his hat and puts it on his head, and he's like, yes, Mr. Becker, yes indeed, I did come to help as well. And he's
Do we hear any of this? Like, are we close enough to hear this exchange?
You can hear most of this exchange.
Okay.
And he's gonna see. And he sounds convincing as he says this. And Becker says, well, you're gonna need a pick or a shovel, and you gotta kind of get in here and get to work. We got some equipment if you need it. Come on over. And he starts walking him toward the building.
And they have their backs turned to us now,
Yes,
right?
now they have their backs turned to you.
Shoot a
Can
ball!
I start stealthing down?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm gonna join them too.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christmas. You know, the best laid plans.
Yeah, I'm
don't
gonna
go
wait till
on ahead.
DC go.
First contact with the enemy, guys.
Hudson's just watching because he's like, I gotta see how this is gonna go.
All right. So, as you both start down, you get about halfway there. Becker has gotten just to the door of the building, and there is a loud crack underneath Jeremiah's foot. And Lucas, as you sort of backpedal to sort of hide, you kind of trip over another root nearby. And Becker spins back around, his shovel back up in the threatening position. And Pennebaker whips back around and looks in your direction as well. And he's like, you see him like, for a second, like eyes and like, and he goes, no, it's fine. There you are, gentlemen. I've been looking for you. I lost you on the trail. And Becker sort of looks sideways at him and is like, wait, they're with you, Mr. Pennebaker? And he says, yes, son, these two wanted to come and I mean, I brought the preacher here who does the Lord's work too.
I was gonna say, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna start walking down with all that.
And Becker, he lowers the shovel slightly, but he still has it up, and he's looking from Pennebaker to the two of you very questioningly. But Pennebaker is like patting him on the shoulder, very like, it's good, it's fine. There's good, fine boys right here. Have you met Mr. well, Lewis
Brown.
here?
Oh, Luke. Oh, yeah.
He's new to town. And you know the pastor, Jeremiah. You've met, haven't you? He's been by Father Duffy's tent a handful of times.
Indeed. Quite a number of times, I would say.
So Becker's just sort of looking back and forth, and he's like, "Oh, I mean, all right. Well, hello, Padre. How are you today?"
I'm doing quite well. How are you doing yourself?
Oh, well, hard work, but I think we're almost done.
I'm curious. You said that you're preparing for the end times, yeah? I mean, I understand, of course. Oh, the Lord. That fumble. I'm wondering exactly what your labors here, what the preparations are. Just, so we can help.
He's kind of has lowered his shovel now. He's opening the door to this building, and you can see over his shoulders inside. There's like various equipment and stuff in here. There's some picks, some shovels, some other things. And he puts his shovel kind of down on the inside of the door, and he kind of steps in and he says over his shoulder, well, from what we've been told, I was at the meeting with the Reverend day before yesterday, and he was talking how all that evil that's been going on in the town and all the sinfulness that's been going on in the town, and how it's finally come to the point where the town has to be cleansed, and those who are willing to show their faith honorably will stand with the cleansing, and we're supposedly going to get risen up on angels' wings if we do our part. So those of us that were at the service, we all are here to do our part, as the Reverend said, that this is what we must do in order to do what we must do.
Okay.
He hands out a couple shovels, one to Lucas, takes another one out, hands it to Jeremiah, and he hands Pennebaker a pick, and Pennebaker looks at it like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this thing? Like, his nice, comfy, manicured hands holding this pick, like, he just kind of holds it by the handle, head to the ground.
Can I smack him in the face?
Who?
The dude who we're talking to. Can I smack him in the face while we're in the building?
Sure. You want to make me
Wait, hold up. You doing it to Pennebaker or Becker?
No. The man that
to
we're
Becker, Milt Becker?
talking. Yeah.
For fluff's sake. Okay. This is a Delilah thing. You're pulling a Delilah, Dylan.
It's the first thing I thought, so I'm gonna try it.
That's Hudson and Delilah are still just watching from a distance.
So what would you like me to roll?
That would be a fighting brawl roll to slap him upside the face.
Okay.
All right. So you what do you do? Describe what you try to do here.
Well, the way I'm picturing it is he's like reaching back, handing someone a shovel, and reaching back, and so when he like looks back to hand someone a shovel, I'm just gonna like hit him in the face and try and like knock him out or daze him or something. That was my idea.
All right. So you take a swing at Becker, and his eyes sort of widen in surprise, and he says, "What the hell?" And he just throws a punch to your face, like in response, as he's surprised by this. And since he does, come from a background of owning a saloon, usually when someone throws a punch, you get into a brawl fight. So yeah. So he just punches you square in the nose, and there's a solid crack as you take five points of damage as you take a punch to the face. And his shovel kind of gets knocked over, and he goes, "What the hell's that about, huh? What's that about, preacher?" And he's standing over you with his fists up.
I'm gonna hit him too.
Oh shit.
And I'm gonna say that's not how you do that, preacher. Let me show you. And I'm gonna just smash him with mine.
Oh my god.
All right.
Yeah, that's a smash, all right.
Yeah. So he punches Jeremiah in the face, and you hear a cracking sound, and blood comes out of Jeremiah's nose, and he's not looking at you, Lucas, as you just across the side of his face. What rolls damage for that?
God.
How do I do that?
It's 1d3 plus your damage bonus for an arm.
Just 1d3.
Oh yeah, you're smaller than Delilah is. I forgot about that.
All right. So you
What's some-
punch him in the face, and he kind of goes against the side of the wall and spins around like, "What the?" And Pennebaker is like, "Ugh," and he just kind of picks up the pick. He's still holding it upside down, and he's just kind of goes to hit him in the back of the head as his back is to him.
With the wooden handle, correct?
With the wooden handle.
Okay.
I really just wanted him to.
Pickaxe him in the back of the head. And I was like,
I mean, that would be pretty epic, though. I'm not gonna lie.
He tries to hit him, and he overbalances with it and kind of goes ass over tea kettle and tumbles to the ground behind as Becker looks around at Lucas and is like, "What?" And
I got another one for you.
he throws a left at Lucas's face in this instant, in panic now, his eyes wide, suddenly realizing he's outnumbered and this isn't maybe what he thought it was.
they're still outside the building, great.
No, they're sort of... Jeremiah's outside the door, as is Lucas. Pennebaker was inside, and Becker is in the doorway.
Yeah.
So we can see this.
You can definitely... You see probably Jeremiah stumble back a pace or two. You definitely get some eyes on
I think
this.
Delilah gives Hudson this look like we should probably go help them.
All right, so... he lands a left to your jaw, Lucas. And you'll take 3 points of damage as he punches you. And he... looks around desperate because now he realizes he's pinned in the doorway between the two of you. But he's got both of his fists up. And his eyes kind of go to that shovel next to him.
Somebody stop him.
All right, I'm gonna try to lasso him up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And I think I'm gonna try and
Oh.
Oh my gosh. I think once that happens, I'm gonna try and cover his mouth so he doesn't shout or anything,
All right.
help!
So, as the rope, Lucas just rope comes out and he lassos around him almost effortlessly. Jeremiah, you go to cover his mouth. Just roll me a dexterity roll to grab hold of it as he's now like lashing back and forth. He's starting to go into complete panic from this.
I'm gonna use that 20.
Oh, okay. So yes,
Yeah. I'm not gonna roll.
I like it.
It's not very good.
Aw. All right. So you lunge forward in that instant, and as Lucas pulls the rope taut and his arms get pinned, Jeremiah just sort of leaps on top of him and wraps his arms around his mouth. And I think all of you sort of like stumble into the building at this point, a few steps. So, and out in the tree line, Hudson and Delilah, you're both there watching this mayhem unfold, and you see them just sort of disappear into the building.
Delilah is going to attempt to move stealthy towards the building.
All right.
She's going to look at Hudson before she goes and goes, I wanted to be the distraction. Boom!
Whoa!
And after saying that, she quickly slips between the trees heading for the building. And you get there effortlessly. Doesn't look like any eyes are currently on you at this point. And you get a nuzzle from Shadow as Shadow pokes around the side of the building, recognizing you.
She'll pet his muzzle. Or its muzzle. I don't know if we ever determined what gender it actually was. The horse's muzzle. And I think she's gonna take some dynamite out of her pack because this is Delilah. Just to have it, just in case. And then I guess she'll go help the boys.
So Hudson, you find yourself alone in the trees with the rest of your group now in the small equipment shack on the side of the dam.
Mm-hmm. I'm just gonna be the lookout, just keep an eye on everything around to make sure, like, no one's heading back towards that building.
Okay. So the rest of you are now crammed into this building, and you have a very panicked-looking Milt Becker tied by rope and held by Jeremiah, who has kind of had to get up on his back and just hold him. And he's lashing back and forth in a panic. Pennebaker is just kind of standing back in a corner looking around like, success?
Can I try and like... I don't know how well this works. I want to try and calm Milt down as best I can. Like, just like, Milt. Listen, we're not gonna hurt you, okay? That's not why we're here. Like, you're not even here, Hudson. Okay?
Hudson can hear this. He's like,
think that the Reverend is not quite who he says he is. Now, if I take my hands off your mouth, you're not gonna shout, are you?
I'll just punch him if he does, so.
We don't want to. I don't want to do that. I don't want her to do that. Okay?
she's crazy.
Delilah,
She is.
Delilah, roll
See
me,
that dynamite?
roll me an intimidation check with an advantage die for holding dynamite.
She's just gonna shove the dynamite into his mouth.
Oh my god.
I have no idea how I made that, but success!
He looks at Delilah, like, eyes wide, and he's like...
I'm crazy.
Okay.
I am crazy. Just ask these boys. They'll tell you how crazy I am.
She is a little bit, yeah. I'm gonna take my hands, off. And I'm gonna say, now, listen, Mel. We don't think the Reverend is who he says he is. And this thing here isn't as holy as he's led you guys to believe. I'm a man of God myself. I've read the scripture quite a few times. I know how this all works.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get into the specifics of what we think about the Reverend. It's very complicated, and honestly, I don't think you'd believe us. But trust me when I say this is not the way that God has laid out for us at all.
He said you might say that if your kind all came here. He said you might say that, like, that we were doing wrong.
I'm
You're
We
gonna
can
wipe
show
out the entire town, and nobody's gonna make it
show
except for the how many ever of you that are blowing up the dam. You want to wipe out everybody and their families? I feel like you're a better man than that.
No, the angels are supposed to swoop down and rescue those that are worthy. So
Well, that might doom you.
it might, but then that's on me, and it was my sins that doomed me. And he kind of starts crying a little, like tear running down his cheek.
I don't want to doom anyone though. Like, we can stop this from happening. You can change your ways without blowing up or drowning the entire city, or flooding the entire city or town.
Well, we can show you he's a monster.
It's true.
He said you'd say that. He said you'd say that too.
No. Can I tell you a little bit of a story? I put a gun up to the Reverend's stomach and shot him. You should be dead.
Why'd you shoot the Reverend, Delilah?
Because he threatened me. Or rather, my home and my family.
Oh, he doesn't look like he got shot, though.
That's my point.
That is weird, isn't it?
I mean, I could tell you what he turned into when I shot him, but I don't want to make you any more scared, because you might actually... I don't want you to pee all over Jeremiah.
I can tell you something that we've seen up in the hills, too. I think they're probably the angels he's told you about, and they ain't angels, let me tell you. They're children of Beelzebub is what they are. Devils, straight out of hell. Crawled up from the mines, probably. The fiery pits.
You know,
And wherever they're gonna take you ain't heaven. No.
I mean, I think we could clear this all up if we just talk to the Reverend, and
Nah. No.
he'd be able to let you all see that it's gonna be okay, cause he told us it's gonna be okay, and I for one believe him.
Well, that was your first mistake.
But you weren't there, Delilah. Like, you didn't listen to his words.
Because he's crazy. I know crazy. I am crazy.
He just nods when you say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm so crazy I might just go out there and blow myself up in protest.
I don't disbelieve that.
Just saying.
Mr. Pennebaker, you know, sir, the Reverend, he's always been a good man. Pennebaker's like, well, I'm not one that's big into the faith, son, so, you know, money is more my business, but there is something a bit strange about the Reverend of late, apparently.
Milt, the
Yes, sir?
judgment that the Reverend has told you that you have to bring down on the town, it's not for us to make judgment like that. That's not our province in this life. That is wholly God's to decide to wipe away a town like that. I mean, I know you're a faithful man. I mean, you know the scripture as well as I'm sure.
I mean, I'm in church every Sunday to make up for all those nights at the saloon every other night of the week.
Yeah. You know about the flood. You know about Sodom and Gomorrah. You know about the Pharaoh.
How about the golden rule?
What?
Do unto others as you want done unto you.
Well,
Therefore, you shouldn't judge other people and doom everyone to die.
I'm not the one passing the judgment. It's for each of them and what they.
No, but you're helping. No, is my point. You're helping, and God isn't going to see a difference.
I mean, I believe what I believe that this is
I know
right.
you do.
I think that you all are misled. I think that I don't think you're bad people, but
I don't think you are either.
I mean, sorry, Mr. Pennebaker, maybe you, because sometimes I heard some stories, sir. But
someone else is on my
he has
side.
a point. A little.
And you, Mr. Lucas, I don't know you very well at all, sir. But I mean, I don't know. I think maybe it's just a big misunderstanding. Maybe Pastor Padre, if you talk to the Reverend, y'all could come to an agreement about this. I know that he's tried to have words with Mr. Stratton about his not liking the idea of the town getting destroyed, and Mr. Stratton's he's very angry about the whole thing.
He knows about this.
His way of telling Mr. Stratton about it was, fire and brimstone, the world's gonna end with fire and brimstone, and
Well, no, I think they had a long conversation last night when they brought Mr. Stratton here.
Oh.
Delilah's face like any color that Delilah had, because she doesn't necessarily think Jack is any better than Pennebaker. He's at least honest about how sleazy he is. And took a chance on her. When did he bring him and where is he?
They brought a couple of them up last night, and they got him in the cabin across the way having a conversation.
Who else?
Was Mr. Farrow with them?
I think he might have been. They had to carry him in.
I knew it. Yeah. Okay.
And the doctor and that prospector from the hills there, Mr. Fincher.
Oh.
That's
boy.
Jed, right?
Yes.
Jed, whatever the.
It's Jed.
You see, like, every fiber of Delilah's being start to just shake in, like, ink, blood, like, she probably is seeing red. Like, straight up. Can you point me in the direction of this building?
He says, he looks down where his arms are bound, and he goes, points his nose out, like, it's the one on the other side there of the dam, the cabin that there, over on the far side.
Yeah. Far fucking side, because of course it fucking is.
Well, it's much bigger than this one, and it's a little more accommodating for visitors.
These visitors, you mean kidnapper, or kidnappees?
Well, they did not seem to be coming of their own volition when they came in, but the Reverend said that they just needed some convincing.
That's called kidnapping.
That's
a crime. Where's the fucking deputy when I goddamn fucking need him?
And Hudson, as you're sitting up on the hill, you notice activity continue as normal. No one has really come near this side of the dam currently, though you have seen Duffy. He made his way all the way across the other side, and he has walked out and kind of looked around a couple times, sort of looked down to see, what's going on below. He has looked back across this way, but hasn't seemed to notice anything amiss, and at this point he's turned and gone back into the cabin on the other side.
I know what I'm gonna do. I'm getting on Shadow, and I'm riding across the motherfucking dam.
Excellent. Okay, that was actually my idea too. So good.
I just had a thought. You gave me a moment to think about this.
So,
Excellent.
is there a easy way for me to get down to the bottom of the dam where the detonator is?
Well, the detonator was up top.
That was up top.
Yeah, it's up where, like, like over on that side, like it looked like they were rigging everything to feed up to that cabin on that side.
Gotta save my fiance. Or at least try.
So is
And-
Delilah launching off out onto her horse right now?
Yes.
Yep. Okay.
All right, so Delilah, you run outside and jump on Shadow.
Uh-huh.
So Hudson, you see Delilah bolt from the building and run and mount up onto Shadow. What do you do in that moment?
So is there any sort of wiring near where I am, or like I can get to relatively quickly? Like any dynamite wiring stuff?
Make a spot hidden check.
Because now Duffy's really threatening my family.
All right, you do see that there is wiring that runs up this from the lower part of this side of the dam up to the main part of the dam and then back across to where the detonator is. So there is explosives wired on this side.
I'm gonna move towards it.
All right, so do you want to try to do it sneaky or are you just going
I'll
full speed?
try to.
Okay.
I'm probably not gonna succeed. Nope.
All right, so as Delilah bolts from the building, Jeremiah and Lucas, you see her going, and you literally see Hudson like come just out of the tree line, heading kind of in the opposite direction to the left of the building, like down the slope away a little ways. What are the two of you doing in that instance?
Well, Lucas, it looks like it's on.
I got an idea.
Actually, can I
Oh no!
can I tweak something? Because I
Sure.
had just had a better idea.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on Sable and start riding
Okay.
towards where the wires are.
All right.
I mean, that's a more expeditious way of movement.
It's true.
Well, there's another reason behind that as well. So
All right. So you see Hudson ride out of the trees on Sable. Pennebaker like looks out the doorway. He's like, "What the hell?" And he looks at the two of you.
Lucas, you have a plan?
Come on, my little Christmas present. I'm gonna pull the guy up here,
Oh no!
We're gonna have a kidnapping of our own, apparently.
and I'm gonna tell him. Now listen here. Some of what you told piqued my interest, and I want to know more about it. But I don't trust you or any of these people here, so you're gonna take me to the Reverend. And the entire time you're staying in these bonds, I've got my gun to your back. If you throw me under the bus for any reason at all, I will pull the trigger on you. You understand what I'm telling you?
Roll me an intimidate check with an advantage die.
Come on, Lucas!
Oh no.
Fuck.
Man.
Wait, don't you have luck still?
Yes.
13.
It would be
Yeah.
13 to make
Yeah,
it a success.
I'll spend it.
Okay.
All
I feel
Wow.
like
damn.
this is important. That's why I brought it up.
All right, so he nods like, all right. Mm-hmm. I won't throw you under no bus.
What's a bus?
Yeah, I won't throw you under any stagecoach, my friend. I won't throw you under any stagecoach.
All right, let's go. Start putting one foot in front of the other.
And
Let's go. Whatever you talk so highly of.
all right, so you lead him out of the building. Pennebaker looks at Jeremiah and goes, "So should I stay here?"
You can do whatever you like, Mr. Pennebaker. Just
Excellent. I'm gonna stay right here until you all sort out exactly what y'all are doing.
I will say, if the dam blows up, I don't think it's gonna be safe right here. Just so you know.
He kind of gives you a knowing look, like he figured that out, and maybe he didn't intend to stay right here for very long.
Oh,
All right,
gosh.
so what are you doing, Jeremiah, as Lucas now escorts Becker out of the building and heading over, like, in the direction that Delilah is now riding?
I think I'm gonna follow Lucas after like a little prayer. I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna kind of sigh and I'm gonna follow Lucas out of the building.
All right. So, Delilah.
Uh-huh.
So you have jumped onto Shadow, and you are riding across the top of the dam toward the other building.
Uh-huh.
All right. So as you are riding, you definitely draw attention from the other side. You see,
Yeah.
you see a couple of heads turn in your direction, who kind of were like leaned over working. And you see one of them sort of turn back and say something back toward the building. And as you get about halfway across, you see the form of Reverend Duffy sort of step into view in the doorway.
I'm going to draw my gun and shoot at him.
Oh, jeez. All right. So you're going to draw and shoot at him. So you're going to roll with 1 disadvantage die because you're riding the horse and you're just distance enough away to have a little bit of a hard time aiming at him.
Oh.
Boom!
All right. So
Fuck you, Reverend.
he is going to attempt, as you fire the gun in his direction, he attempts to just sort of dodge back aside and out the door, which he just barely does. So he manages to just slam sideways back into the doorway, and he yells, "Heathen, come to stop our holy work!" And the 2 figures at the other side of the dam kind of stand up and start running in your direction with their shovels up. And you see Zeke Flint and Alvin Feeney just running straight at you.
So can I don't know what you're going to let me do, but as they get closer, because I'm going to still ride, can I rear back my horse and have the horse stomp on him?
You can.
Can I at least attempt to do this?
You can. Let's see. I have horsey stats.
I'm using everything at my disposal, including my horse.
I
like
I'm not going down without a fight.
Well, I need you to make a ride check to rear your horse up and get him to kick at one of these 2 gentlemen.
Damn it.
All right, so he does rear back. You need to make me a dexterity roll.
Oh, I can do that. That is much more doable.
All right,
Okay.
so you do keep in the saddle as the horse rears back, and it will attempt to kick. Let's see. So it kicks, and both men manage to kind of dodge aside from the kick, and they sort of like charge toward and try to, like, they're trying to pull you out of the saddle. As Hudson, what are you doing as you're riding Sable down the slope? You see a couple of figures down below sort of looking up the slope, but they're a ways off, and they sort of are trying to figure out what you're doing.
If I yell out something, will they be able to hear me?
Yes, they would.
Okay. I'm going to point down the river, like away from the dam, and yell out, "Townspeople are on the way. Reverend came to tell you guys to go get them." Like I'm trying to divert them away from the dam.
Do you want to roll me a persuasion check or a fast talk?
Can it be a charm?
I mean, you are rather charming, aren't you?
I'm very charming.
And you are the law, so I will
The
say,
law,
I
yeah.
am the law. I am the law. All right.
I mean, he's 1/2 of the law, but okay.
Well, anyway.
So you point down, and these 2 look back at you, and they look downriver like, should we be going to get them?
Yeah, that way. Go. Stop them. They're trying to destroy the Lord's work.
All right. So, and these 2 turn and run back in that direction.
So they're moving away from the dam?
They're moving away back
Okay,
down
I'm
the creek.
beelining towards the nearest dynamite wire that I can find.
Okay.
And I'm going to... Oh no, I think I've heard... Oh no, that's not. Sorry, I thought I
We're
heard.
just watching you intently.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to dismount, grab the wire, wrap it around the pommel of the saddle, and then just start riding to try to dismantle this whole thing.
Oh, that's good.
And just start dragging all the dynamite with me.
That's good.
As fast as I can.
All right.
'Cause I don't know how like dug into it all is, but I'm gonna try and just start dismantling the dynamite system.
So why don't you roll me a ride check to just turn and get Sable to just bolt with enough force to start ripping up this hard work that was done by your fellow townspeople.
That's a hard.
So, Lucas and Jeremiah, you're about a third of the way across with Becker in tow, and you hear a cacophony of sound behind you. First, you hear Hudson yelling something about townspeople coming that way, and you can make out two figures sort of running back down the slope, heading down the creek in the direction he pointed. And then you see him leap off Sable, grab something and wrap it around the saddle horn, and then just ride. And you just see wire and debris start kind of pulling loose. In some cases, it's just the wire that pops free. In other cases, you actually see, like, trails of dynamite trailing behind Hudson in this moment. And up ahead, you see Delilah nearly lose her place in her saddle.
Yep.
And two figures trying to pull her from her horse as she has shot at the figure of Reverend Duffy in the door of the cabin across the way.
This is not going how I expected it to go.
I didn't have any expectations for how this was gonna go.
Neither did I, honestly.
I guess other than bad. I feel like we're okay. We're doing good.
We're not doing too bad.
Pretty well.
Except I have dynamite trailing after me.
I mean, we can just get people out of the building on the other side and blow up the building, because that would make me extremely happy. Anyway, cool.
Could blow up Reverend Duffy.
It didn't work the first time. That's how I
Well,
how I
that's
was
true.
knocked unconscious.
That's true.
0 out of 10 would not recommend. Okay, I'm gonna deal with.
Yeah, I don't even know how to. I don't even know what Jeremiah's doing at this point.
Well, this is Lucas and Jeremiah. These are the two scenes that are happening around you in this moment as you're making your way across the upper level of the dam.
I'm gonna kind of just look around. Well, there's one way to do it, I guess. And just gonna like poke him in the back. Come on, keep going. Don't get distracted now. I want to meet this reverend you speak so highly of. Maybe start like picking up the pace a little bit.
He'll start to sort of jog forward as you do that, like keeping pace with you. It's like, oh, what the hell's the deputy doing? He's ruining all the hard work that we did.
No, he ain't. He's good.
And as he's pointing back, you see the figure of Pennebaker like run in the opposite direction of where Hudson's going on the horse from the building, like back into the tree line.
Oh boy.
All right, so you guys
I
are.
thought he and I had a deal.
So you all are double timing to cross the bridge as Hudson is riding, just tearing up. Like you can hear these popping sounds behind you of just him riding. And Delilah, you have seen. It looks like Duffy has gone back and is now inside. You don't have a clear line of sight on him, and you are now tussling with Alvin Feeney and Zeke Flint.
How wide is the top of the dam?
I mean, it's probably about 15 feet wide.
How close am I to the edge of it? I'm assuming I'm in the middle, right?
You had ridden down the center.
Okay. So if I can, what I want to do is maneuver the horse to be so that the guys hanging off the saddle trying to rip me off are hanging over the dam, and just like stab them in the hand.
All right, so make a ride check to get your horse to maneuver itself around.
Ah!
All right, so you maneuver around and you put these two townspeople to the other side of the dam as they're sort of grabbing at you and trying to pull you from the saddle.
Did she see Hudson? or whoever asked what is aggressive action, because she wants to be like, this is aggressive action, and then stab him.
So you could see, if you looked back over your shoulder, you could see Hudson in this moment, like, riding full tilt.
You probably can't hear her anyway, so I guess she'll just attempt to stab the hand.
All right. You can go for either Feeney or Flint, whichever one you want to go for.
It doesn't matter. Whoever is the most likely to pull them off, or pull her off of.
All right. So it looks like Feeney is getting he's the closer of the two.
Okay, then yes, that would be who she'd take out. Or better yet, forget stabbing them. She's just gonna no. Where are they grabbing?
They're right now currently grabbing at your leg, trying to pull you out of the saddle.
Okay, I'm not gonna shoot their hand. I'll carefully stab them, like, in the arm or something, not directly to me. Or at least attempt to.
Alright, so you stab at Feeney, and... Ow, that hurts.
That's maximum damage, BT Dubs.
Alright, so he kind of stumbles back a little bit from it because of the pain, and let's see if he manages to not fall off a dam.
Nope.
He does not. So he loses his footing, and you see him go over the edge of the dam down toward the creek bed below. And it's not actually like a straight shot down, so you see as he sort of like tumbles down and away, falling down this 80 to 100 foot drop to the creek bed below.
Didn't anticipate that necessarily, but
the other is going to just try to rip you out of the saddle. So he is going to use his fighting brawl. All right, so God. he grabs onto you as you stab at Feeney, and Flint gets a good grip on you, and he just pulls you out of the saddle.
Fucker, you're going over the side too.
And you both kind of sort of hit the ground, and both of you need to make dexterity checks for me.
Oh shit.
Oh no.
Alright, so Delilah, you get pulled off and you sort of go over Flint and tumble sideways, but he doesn't fall and he still has a grip on you. But you are actually hanging over the side of the dam, and the only thing holding you currently is Flint has a grab on you. And he's just staring at you in, like, shock. Like, and he literally says, "What the hell are you doing?" And he looks past, watching as Alvin Feeney tumbles away. But he didn't let go, so he's still, like, holding you. You're kind of at a odd angle here because he pulled you off by the leg. So you're kind of dangling, sort of, like, hanging, looking down. Like, oh, crap. So meanwhile...
Fuck my right.
Jeremiah's gonna start running past Lucas towards that.
Okay.
After he saw Feeney go over the side, he's like, "No!" and charges that way.
All right, so Jeremiah bolts down the length of the dam. Becker is even like, oh my God, there, fighting, and he starts to run after Jeremiah. With you, like Lucas, he starts to run to try to get there to stop. Shadow sort of rears back, kind of a little panicked by this, and sort of backs up, and is like just in a little bit of a panic from all this action. So Lucas, what do you want to do?
I'm going to start calling out for the Reverend to come out.
You hear, last time I stuck my head out this door, someone tried to shoot me.
You can take your chance with that or the dynamite we got posted all around your building you're hiding out in.
You hear him laugh a little bit. Are you gonna blow up the dynamite for me?
Sure, that's what I'm up here to find out. Is this fella here has been talking pretty sweet about the deal you got going with everybody.
It's a very good deal, sir.
That's what I came up here to hear. But I talked to men face to face.
Well, you're welcome to come inside. I'm actually having a conversation with a few people you might be familiar with.
Now, see, that's not going to work. I'm claustrophobic. You see, I'm not going to be enclosed by walls.
Jesus.
What guarantee do I have that I'm not going to get shot as soon as I show my face?
Well, half my group is incapacitated at the moment, and I'm here to talk business. So unless you're worried about any of the people you brought up here, I don't think you have to worry about any shots coming from my camp.
All right, I'll come out, but Mr. Feeney, do me a favor. Oh wait, I'm sorry, Mr. Feeney fell away. Mr. Flint. We'll check on Mr. Feeney shortly, but just hold Miss Darling there for a moment. If her friend doesn't keep his word, we can drop her off the dam. And Flint's like, I'm supposed to drop what? All right, Reverend, if you say so.
Flint, don't you fucking dare.
He looks back and forth. I'm not dropping her right now. Reverend didn't
Don't
say
you
so.
fucking drop her at all, you son of a bitch.
Whoa.
The Reverend swearing.
Got angry real quick.
Reverend Duffy steps into the doorway and says, "Now is that any way to talk to a parishioner there?"
You shut the fuck up.
My.
You're a goddamn sinner, Reverend Duffy. You're not even a fucking reverend. So I want you to shut your fucking mouth before any more blasphemy comes out of it. Or I am gonna pump you full of lead. A man just fucking died because of you.
Hudson doesn't know why, but he got suddenly turned on.
Duffy looks and says, "I can't be blamed for the actions of others. Someone else made a choice as far as that man's fate."
I'm a sinner and I know it, so that's why I judged this man and caused him to fall off the edge of the dam.
We can talk about that later.
Just saying.
Would I be close enough to Flint to like try and help pull Delilah up?
You could get there as you're yelling,
Okay.
and
Okay.
Lucas is continuing with Becker.
I would like to.
Flint says, "I'm supposed to keep her hanging here till he tells me what to do, Padre."
You really think that's right, Mr. Flint? Do you really think that's right?
I mean, he said if somebody got in the way of the master plan that we were supposed to do something about it, and she quite literally just got in the way of the plan.
Do you even hear yourself, Mr. Flint?
I do in fact hear
Master
myself.
plan, that sounds on the level with you?
It currently
That
sounds
like God's work? Does it really?
I mean, it really did when he was talking about it the other day. It sounded like God was speaking through him.
Oh, Lord. Help me pull up, darling. Please.
All right, but if we pull her up, she's got to stay right on the edge because I may be told I got to push her off again.
If you push her, I'm going to kill you.
That's
And
not
I
very
don't want
Christian-like,
to do that.
sir.
It's not. But I'm a soldier before I was a Christian, and I don't. Please don't make me, Mr. Flint. I left that life behind. Do not make me do it, please.
Jeremiah,
I'm done right now.
Jeremiah, roll me an intimidation check.
I think you get
Alright.
super advantage on
I know,
this.
right?
Yeah, I was going to say, I think he deserves advantage
Yeah,
on
roll
that.
with advantage.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Jerry.
Oh!
Oh, thank God.
The Lord is with me.
Sir.
He slowly pulls Delilah back up to the, so she's not hanging off the dam.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir. And meanwhile, Lucas, have you proceeded past this toward Duffy?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit closer, but not so close that I want him in the open.
He's standing like he stepped so he's in the doorway of the building, but he hasn't stepped out of the building itself. Well, now, where's my guarantee now that they've pulled dear Miss Darling back to her feet? Now, we could just have a fine conversation here. And he looks across the way and he's like, "What is the deputy doing over there?"
He got tangled up in some buried wire. His horse spooked and ran off.
He's making a right mess of the situation at the moment, let me tell you. No.
Well, there's a few more hands here that might be able to help put it back right for you again if you come out and have words with me.
I like the idea of having a little bit of cover between me and Miss Darling's gun. I don't entirely... It's not that I don't trust you, sir, but she has a bit of a twitchy trigger finger over there on her.
Well, your man's tending her, isn't he?
He is, but that doesn't mean that she's not quick enough to get a shot off and try to kill me before he shoves her over the edge.
I could have killed you 5 times over by now if that's what I wanted.
Well, you seem like you're much more level-headed in a situation like this than some people. No offense, darling. No offense.
Are you going to come out here and talk to me, Duffy, or not?
He takes, like, 3 steps out of the door and stands with his arms folded. He's like, I'm outside. What can I do for you, Mr. Lucas, that will make you understand the situation that we have here? Because, we have a situation.
Is he in the open enough to where other people can see him?
He is.
So, what's the guy I'm leading with the rope? What's his name?
His name is Becker.
Becker? I'm going to say this as low as I can. As low as I can, I'm going to tell him, when you hit the dirt, you stay there.
What?
And without even waiting for a response, I'm kicking him to the ground, and I'm firing both guns at Duffy at the head.
All right. Duffy is going to try to dodge.
Can I just say I feel like I need popcorn?
Come on.
So do I.
Ooh, that's pretty good.
Oh my gosh.
Jeremiah's my hero.
Oh, thank you.
Oh. All right,
That's close.
so you shoot.
Sweating. I'm sweating over
I
here.
know,
Oh my
right?
God.
All right, so you shoot at Duffy, and you shoot him in the head. How much damage? Okay. Boom. Cool. Let's see.
Gotta start using that dice next to my...
Yeah, it makes it easier. All right, so you shoot him, and he sort of stumbles back against the building as the bullet hits him, and then you fire a second bullet that hits him sort of like in the upper shoulder, because the first one made him stumble away, and he hits the side of the building, and he sort of slumps against it for a second, looking at you, Lucas, and he just shakes his head. Shouldn't have done that. As the black ooze starts to kind of pour out of the wound, and he starts to expand out of the shape of Duffy and starts to expand like into this bigger shape that you all have seen. Actually, I don't think Lucas, you didn't see him last time, did you? Because
No, I'm assuming that I would have been filled in.
Yep. So he starts to just expand, and like he has this enormous, like the lower part of him sprouts out like into this thick, enormous, like trunk-like shape, but it just keeps getting kind of wider as it goes, and you see like him sort of stand back up, and he's got these like little short legs that kind of stick out with hooves at the bottom. And then out of the top of him, like these tentacles start to sprout where his arms were, and then out of where his chest was. And along the body, these little mouths start to open. And Lucas, just make me a sanity roll. As this is your first time experiencing this.
I think it's my first
Oh
time.
yeah,
too,
Jeremiah! Make me a sanity roll.
Yeah, because Jerry was off running.
He
And
was.
I believe because of the like character set I took,
Mm-hmm.
I have some kind of advantage with sanity.
Ooh. Oh, Jeremiah.
Find it now. Oh well.
Oh shit. Come on.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
All right. So,
Take all y'all.
So let's see. You both failed it. All right, cool. So
Sure did.
That's not cool. That's the exact opposite of cool.
I know. It's fine. No worries.
No, it's not.
I achieved what I wanted.
All right, so you both only lose 2 points of sanity each.
Okay.
So mostly it's you both are startled by this. So basically it's like involuntary, like God. You know, like Jeremiah, you actually almost like step sideways off the edge of the dam, but you kind of catch yourself, like, oh.
That's not what I was expecting, Delilah.
I told you. I warned you.
It's real different.
And the gentleman, Zeke Flint, holding on to Delilah is like, and starts backpedaling away, like, from this thing that is expanding outward. And
What direction is he backpedaling, out of curiosity?
he's going not off the dam, but back
Okay.
away from the
Well,
situation.
what if I wanted to make him fall off the dam?
Well, I need to know everybody's dexterity so that we can see who acts first.
Okay, mine's 65.
That's right.
50. That guy's the lowest.
That's true.
You want from me too? 'Cause I'm not near the edge.
Yeah, yep, because this is kind of everybody now.
Oh, 60.
Jeez. Oh, just our value?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, 70.
cool.
Forgot. Lucas is a dexterous motherfucker.
What was Delilah's?
65.
That's what I thought. Let's see. You know who's a dexterous motherfucker?
The Reverend.
Yeah.
Oh, big surprise.
He's the big bad. He probably has extra points to do shit with, so.
So let's.
I know how these games work.
So, Lucas, you watch as what was the Reverend sort of seems to melt away into this giant, grotesque creature. Basically, it looks like,
Oh,
Oh.
but really big.
it's cute.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really cute. Not.
It looks like something from an adult novelty store.
I mean,
Or we're,
well.
we're watching a bad version of hentai.
Yep.
And it gives off this shriek, and its legs just, and it runs straight toward Lucas and Zeke
Oh, boy.
on the ground. So it is going to attempt to trample the two of you.
Fail.
Oh, it does, in fact. As it charges forward, it and tries to trample over you, Lucas, as you both, like, Zeke rolls sideways and you manage to get out of the way. Yep.
You slow and ugly, huh? The real you, Mr. Duffy. Look at here, you everybody. And I'm gonna start yelling like, "This is what y'all are working for."
And Lucas, what do you want to do?
I want to get Zeke's attention.
Zeke is rolling and screaming now as he's rolling away from this creature.
Do I know who's inside the cabin? Yep. Did that made known to me, or I wasn't part of that conversation.
You were there. He
were there.
mentioned Stratton. He mentioned Pharaoh, Jed, and the doctor.
So I'm gonna call it for Stratton. And hey, Stratton, I know you're in there. Come out here real quick, please. And I'm gonna try to put some distance between me and the creature. So, I'm assuming he charged at me, past me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna distance myself back towards the cabin that they came out of.
You hear Jack yell, "It would help if someone brought something to cut the ropes."
Fuck.
And
Do
then
I have time to run inside?
You would be able to run from where you are into the building, completely like inside the building.
All right, so I'm gonna run into the cabin, knife out, and start cutting ropes.
All right, so you run in and you see inside this main room, kind of like wooden chairs sort of in a semicircle tied to the chairs. There's the doctor, Stratton in the center, and Jed is tied to the third chair. And then laid up on a cot off to one side is Pharaoh with his leg all kind of bound up. And Stratton just looks at you and he's like, "Get me loose." And Jed looks at you and goes, "Where's Delilah? Where's Delilah?"
She's outside. She's okay. So it's the doctor. All right, yeah, I'll cut Jack loose.
All right, so you spend your turn. You run in and you're cutting Jack loose on your turn. Delilah, you are now free of anyone holding on to you. Your captor has backpedaled back a distance away. He no longer seems interested in throwing you off a dam.
Yeah. He's a little brainwashed. I feel like Delilah's already a sinner. She already murdered someone, sort of. It was kind of in self-defense. Therefore, how big is Flint?
How big?
Like in relation to tiny little Delilah.
What's your size?
45.
45. He's a little bit bigger. He's probably like.
I mean, he's
5
more
foot.
than likely. Sorry, go ahead.
He's probably like 5'8".
Oh, so he's a good almost a foot taller than she is. Or 8 inches taller than she is. I had thoughts of knocking him off while he was in a panic, but that also might involve Delilah going over the edge. I think she's gonna run towards the building and try to get to Jed.
All right, so you run past where Duffy has run out onto the dam. So you bolt past him as he's sort of whipping around to turn back toward where Lucas went to.
Correct.
All right, so you manage to bolt past, like the big tentacle arms kind of swing in your direction, but you manage to kind of bolt and get past them. And you can get sort of almost right to the door, and you can see inside, and you see Lucas has cut the bonds on Jack's.
Jack, you got a gun?
Not currently, but I do have my knife, and he's reaching for his boot and pulling out his knife.
Put your knife away. I got a gun you can use.
Well, all right then. And he'll hold his hand out for a gun.
She'll hand it to him.
He'll take it from you. So he moves from the door. He comes over and takes the gun, and he looks out the door and he goes, "What is that?"
That is Reverend Duffy, or was Reverend. God fucking damn it! I just given it. Okay. This might have been a mistake, giving him a gun.
Yeah, so Jack seems like this kind of throws him for a little bit of a loop as he looks out the door and is like, "Ah!" And he just sort of fires wildly out at this thing, just yelling.
Hey.
Oh, that's pretty good fire, though. So, he does hit it, but he sort of, like, as he shoots it, he then pulls the door shut and, like, slams himself back against the wall. So,
Jack, you
Hudson,
big wuss.
Hudson, what are you doing as you hear multiple gunshots going off back across the bridge, or the dam?
About how much chaos have I caused at this point?
You definitely have done a number on the connections from this side. In fact, at this point, you probably see where you snap part of the connection that goes to the dynamite on the upper part. So while that's all still connected to the detonator, you think that you've at least wrecked this portion of the dynamite.
And how far away is, quote unquote, the Reverend?
The Reverend is back across the dam, so you're probably looking at a good 100 feet or so, maybe 150 feet, to ride back and get across the dam.
Yeah, I'm just gonna start riding back, and as soon as I get within 80 feet, I'm gonna fire a shot from my rifle.
All right. So, let's see. So, riding Sable, you cover the distance pretty good. You could take a shot at him with your rifle.
Cool. I'm gonna do that. Ah.
All right, so you fire in his direction, but the shot goes wide. All right, Jeremiah.
Uh-huh.
Everyone else has moved toward the building. You see Hudson riding toward you and the Reverend. At this point, Shadow sort of panics and bolts.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
If I did an occult roll, would that help me at all to try and figure out what this is, or like even how to handle it?
This is more the mythos
Myth. Okay.
than occult.
Shoot. Yeah. Dang. I don't even know what to do then. Goodness. I think Jeremiah is just gonna try and get the people who are on the dam off. Honestly, try and get them off of the dam to safety, or relative safety.
So you try to herd Becker and Flint away.
Yeah.
All right. Where do you try to go? Do you try to go back toward the way where Hudson's coming, or do you try to get sort of...
Yeah. I think towards where Hudson's coming instead of towards the monster, yeah.
All right. So you and Becker and Flint, you're kind of like run over. Becker's just sort of scrambling to his feet. Flint is just... You don't really have to help Flint so much as Flint is kind of running. At this point, he's screaming slightly. You do, like, as you run, you look down and you can see the rest of the townspeople who were helping with this sort of kind of trying to head in this direction to find out what this whole situation is that's going on.
Yeah.
But you just run.
Okay.
All right. Duffy is going to... All right. So, Jeremiah, you're running away. It's gonna come shuffling after you on its little legs, and it moves pretty quickly when it does this.
I figured.
All right, so do
Do a barrel roll.
one of its tentacles sort of shoots out and tries to grab a hold of you, Jeremiah.
Fail. Miss.
Oh.
Wow.
That's the
that-
opposite of what we said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, Jeremiah, as you're chasing these two men to get them to safety, this tentacle sort of whips out and lashes around you. And you just kind of go down for a second, and you get pulled back across the bridge. And it picks you up and kind of like pulls you in kind of close. And you're right up close to it. And then... I
don't like this, Jeanette.
I know. Alright.
Not our sweet cinnamon bun, Jeremiah.
So as it pulls you up close, you feel this sort of weighted presence kind of like push against like your mind a little bit. I need you to make a power roll.
Jerry's about to get possessed.
Jerry.
Oh man.
Oh,
That's just not even.
man.
That's not
Go,
fair.
go home, Jeanette. You're not even fun anymore.
I'm fired.
Man.
That's fair. And you hear a voice in your head and it says, you know that you should stop them from what they're doing. You should stop your friends before they all get killed, preacher. And you're like, yeah, I should stop my friends before this all happens.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me he gets to try to save again at some point.
Oh boy. Okay.
So
I want to kill Jeremiah.
do whatever's necessary to stop them. And he kind of flings you back in the direction of the cabin. So you kind of land spread eagle, like just on the ground. So meanwhile, Lucas, what are you doing?
So I don't think we want to be stuck in here in these close quarters, Jack. So want to open that door so we can get out and spread out a little bit?
Have you seen what's out there?
Yeah.
I don't think you've seen what's out there.
We don't have time for all this, so I'm going to grab the chair that I cut Jack from. Is there a window?
Yes, there's a window.
So I'm just going to smash the window out the chair and jump out into the outside. I'll deal with the thing outside.
All right, you leap out to see this just tentacled beast just fling Jeremiah onto the top of the dam, and he just lands sprawled on the ground.
I would run from my street. Okay.
All right, so you run over, and Jeremiah's, he doesn't look too much worse for wear.
So you all right there? You all right there, Father?
Question to that. What
help
exactly
you
are the conditions here?
So you will, you obey the command of the caster without exception until the next combat round concludes.
Okay.
So he obviously can't make you do anything that, like, he can't tell you to fly because you're a human, so you can't fly. But pretty much anything else is kind of open game, as long as he doesn't tell you to, like, hurt yourself.
Okay. So he just told me to stop them, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm fine. We should go. We shouldn't be here. We gotta go.
I agree with you. But let's get on out of here before we have to deal with any more of that thing. I'm gonna help kind of get him over to where the others are, but I don't think we're on the same page. Like his getting out of here and my getting out of here, I think are misconstrued somewhere.
Yes, I think so too.
All right, so you drag him back toward the cabin.
Yeah.
And Delilah, what are you doing? As Lucas has gone out a window.
First off, I'm gonna find Jed.
Jed is in a chair, like, kicking and...
Perfect. She's gonna hop on his lap, and she's gonna give him a big kiss. And then she's gonna cut him out.
All right.
Find a place.
And she's gonna say, I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm making it out of this. But your money's back at the saloon.
Delilah, if you're not making it out, I don't want to make it out either, darling.
No. That's silly talk.
Well, I'm a silly fellow.
I mean, you fell in love with me. So, I guess let's do this together. I only have a one-shot pistol left.
Well,
do you have any weapons on you?
Well, and he looks around, and the chair that Lucas used to break the window is lying there kind of broken. He picks it up and snaps the leg off it. I guess this'll do.
Cool. Are we going out the window, or are we just gonna make Jack let us out the door? Let's just go out the window.
You go out the window. So Jed and Delilah go out the window. Jack, it's like, where the hell y'all going? There's something terrible outside. He will open the door and fire at Duffy out the door.
Oh man.
And then he will run out the door and go around the side of the building and get cover on the other side of the building. Meanwhile, Hudson, you are full tilt riding Sable. You see Jeremiah get tossed. What are you doing?
I am beelining it for the detonator.
Oh, shit.
Like, not even trying to shoot at him, I'm just heading straight for the detonator.
All right, so you're riding.
I don't know if I can get to it or.
Well, you're riding. You have to get past him on the bridge, and it's on the other side, sort of near the building where Delilah and Jed are coming out of the building. So you can. It's kind of difficult, like riding by it. You're gonna need to make a ride check for Sable to go past this creature, because this creature is so terrifying.
I will try that.
So try.
Boom.
So you all watch
Thanks,
as
Minnie.
yes, you all watch as this creature lashes out some tentacles toward Sable, and Hudson just leap over, clearing it and getting past to the other side of the creature and riding. And
Sable poops on him.
there may be some horse urination for sure. But you get to the other side of the dam, and you are within reach of like leaping off Sable and getting to the detonator.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump off and kind of like give Sable a hit on the hindquarter so that Sable will just keep going to get out of the way. And then I'm gonna head towards the detonator.
All right.
And I don't know if I can do anything or I have to wait till my next turn to do something.
You have to wait till your next turn to do something with it, but you have a detonator. So, Jeremiah. Lucas is helping you get away from the edge of the bridge.
Do I see Hudson near the detonator?
You do see Hudson go for that detonator.
Okay, I'll pull out my gun.
Okay.
And I'll start shooting at Hudson.
Fair enough.
It's fair.
Oh, I love being charmed. It's great.
Well,
He'll be over soon.
in your defense, don't worry, you're dominated, so it's not your fault.
No, god damn it, Jeremiah.
So, Hudson.
Now you can hit a broadside of a barn when you're charmed?
Now he has incentive, people. He has incentive.
Yeah.
So as you, Hudson, grab for this detonator and go to scoop it up, you feel pain as you are hit with a bullet.
Oh, God.
How many hit points is your maximum?
27.
Alright, so that's not enough to give you a major wound. So that's just really freaking painful. As you just look down and see yourself bleeding, and when you look up and across, you see the end of Jeremiah's gun pointed at you and smoke coming out of the end of his gun.
What the hell, Jerry? Whatever.
So Jed has leaped through the window with Delilah. He is brandishing a chair leg in this instant, and he runs straight toward the giant beastie, screaming at the top of his lungs.
They're a match made in heaven. Look, they're both batshit
With a
insane.
chair
It's
leg?
great.
With a chair leg.
Alright.
Oh my god!
And he runs forward and he hits this thing full center mass, just boom.
That's my fiance.
And it actually squeals and reels back a bit from this blow. And he's like, "You're not gonna take Delilah from me, you monster!" So the creature is going to
Kill Jed now.
possibly kill Jed now, yes.
Possibly.
Where are
It's
you?
gonna dominate Jed. It's
So it attempts to grab hold of Jed. Let's see here. So it will grab. Oh yeah, so it grabs Jed. You see the tentacle wrap Jed up. It pulls him in close, but this time it doesn't like stop. It pulls him right up against one of the little mouths, and you hear it like crunch, and it makes like a sucking sound. And Jet screams when it does this. Da-da-da.
I would too. Yeah.
I was gonna go full barbarian on him now.
And he kind of writhes against it, but he can't seem to pull free, as it's just seems to be just eating Jed.
That sounds right.
I think Delilah just starts crying.
All right. Lucas, what are you doing?
Is Jerry uncharmed now?
Jerry does sort of like shake his head, confused as to what just happened.
Yeah, why have my gun out?
I think it, but I've been able to. It happened right in front of me. I could obviously tell he was shooting at Hudson, right?
Oh yeah, you watched him shoot Hudson.
I think he would just be like, "What in the?" And I would just like tackle him to the ground.
All right, so just roll me just a brawl to see if you successfully tackle him to the ground. It won't do any damage.
I think Jeremiah is so out of it, like confused. I don't think it's a fight.
All right, so you do tackle him to the ground, and he is just laid out flat underneath you.
And it's like, "What is wrong with you? What are you shooting over there for?"
How much do I remember, Jeanette? Do I remember
Oh yeah.
the voice?
Yep, you remember the voice, and you remember feeling like that was the best idea you've ever had.
Now I know why everyone's helping Duffy. He said something to me, and he told me to stop you guys. I didn't shoot anybody, did I?
I think so.
Oh no.
Where's your mind at now?
I mean, I'm back to normal, not doing that. Stop him, probably.
This is okay. So
I'm very confused. Don't.
I want you to put a bullet in that sumbitch right now. And can I give my shoot action to Jeremiah as like to make sure he can fire and attack the thing?
Sure, he can try to fire it, Duffy.
But yeah, show me you're gonna attack the right people here now.
Okay.
He just shoots Hudson again.
I'll take a deep breath and I'll try. I'll try and take a shot off on this dude.
Ooh.
Yep.
Okay.
So he shoots and he hits the giant creature that was the Reverend.
Then I'll help him to his feet. Keep that shit up.
I will. I'll try. Yep.
Meanwhile, Jack pokes out from around the building, shoots his gun, and then ducks back behind the building.
Come
Yeah.
on, Jack.
Shoots my gun. Oh, wait, is that a 99 or an 89?
That's an 89.
Okay, I was gonna say, jams my gun.
Hudson, you've been shot.
Yeah, I'm just ignoring that. Is the detonator like hooked up?
It is.
Did we
Can
skip
I-
Delilah's turn?
Oh yeah, Delilah's before me.
I'm sorry. Yeah, Delilah.
Cool. She's got dynamite now.
She does.
How close to where like the detonator and stuff are they?
They're probably about 25 feet from the detonator.
Perfect. She's gonna yell, "I'm sorry," light a stick and throw it at it.
At the detonator?
Not at the detonator,
Oh.
at the thing. She's
I was
saying
gonna say,
sorry to
that's
Jed. She's saying sorry to Jed.
That'd be hilarious if he blew Hudson up. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, blows me up.
Just kidding, Hudson. We've all been against you from the beginning.
All right.
You're the law! Kill the lawman!
Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal.
So give me a throw roll here.
Oh no.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. So you overshoot a bit, and the dynamite goes rolling up the dam a little ways. Hudson, you are holding this detonator, and you see the dynamite sort of rolling on the dam, and you're like, as you know, the dam is laced with dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
So
How much reaction time would I have?
you got a second or two here.
How close am I to the water?
You're probably within 15 feet of the river.
Can I scoop up the detonator, run and jump into the river with it?
Sure.
I don't know if I'll be able to do that.
All right. Yes, you can. And Delilah, I need you to roll me 2d6, please. I'm sorry. No, wait. 4D.
I thought it was 4d10.
It is 4D10.
Who knows?
I was looking at an incendiary device, not the dynamite. All right. So
Would have been great if I had actually hit him.
it would, but so the dynamite blows up, and you see it, and it sort of chain reactions starts blowing up other dynamite.
That was what I was trying to avoid.
So let's see.
Oh, fuck.
So Delilah, make me a dexterity roll.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, maybe good news. He's on the dam.
Maybe water's been his weakness the whole time.
All right.
Maybe.
So Delilah, you are like, oh, you turn and bolt. Or do you? Will you turn and bolt down the dam away as you realize that this looks like it's going to start kind of a chain reaction of explosions?
No, I don't. Shit. Well, I don't think she can outrun. I don't think she thinks she can outrun the chain of explosions.
Now I will
She
say,
also doesn't want to give Duffy another chance if she can avoid it,
okay.
of trying to destroy the town. I'm gonna hope that Hudson pulled up enough of the dynamite that we're okay. And so I think she's gonna stay put.
All right, so you stay where you are on the dam. So I'm going to hold on to your hard success there for a second. So what happens is the explosion goes off, and Hudson, you did a lot of damage to the dynamite on the other side of the dam, and were able to dismantle quite a bit of it. But this does trigger sort of this side of the dam. So as you all watch, there is a big explosion at the top of the dam. But it doesn't go as far down as to sort of destroy the rest of the structure, but when it explodes, there is a large gush of water that comes through where it explodes, and it hits the Reverend, like center mass, where it's standing holding Jed. So let's see.
Killed my fiance. It's fine.
You know.
Happens.
So the Reverend and Jed are washed over the dam almost instantaneously. Delilah, you watch as they go. Now you have a hard success on that dex roll. You can get a hold of something to like get out of the way if you choose to, or you're gonna get washed toward the edge of the dam and over the edge too.
He said he wanted to go together. But Delilah also wants to make sure the town, she's conflicted. Shit. This is not, I didn't need to sacrifice other people's lives. Shoot. I'm gonna roll just a D100. High, she's getting out of the way. Low, she's going with him.
Oh boy.
Scared.
Oh no!
well.
Okay, I'm going with him.
It's almost
It was-
as low as you can get.
All right, so Lucas and Jeremiah, you see this explosion go off, and you were off the edge of the dam, but there is debris flying.
Yeah.
What is your response as the explosion goes off?
Jump to the ground.
All right, and Lucas,
How far away from like the porch of this building, or like the?
you were pretty close to the interior of the building.
I'd try to scramble my way close to the building.
All right, both of you make me dexterity rolls to see how successful you are.
Oh god.
You have a 50-50 chance of succeeding.
That's true. Yeah. Well,
All right.
Okay.
So, Lucas, you kind of try to leap and get into the building, but the force of the explosion sort of hits you from behind, and you will take. Oh, you only take 1 point of damage. You're a sturdy guy, so you're not too badly damaged by this as you get slammed. Jeremiah, you manage to get down and cover your head as debris flies around you. You do see across the way the forms of Becker and Flint disappearing over the dam, as they had not gotten off the dam yet.
Well,
And Hudson, you had leaped into the river
Mm-hmm. With a detonator.
with the detonator in hand. Now, I need you to roll me a dexterity roll.
no.
Actually, first roll me a strength roll.
Delilah's just dooming the entire party. It's
I'm gonna spend that too, look.
All right, so you managed to grab on to the outer part of the dam that hasn't broken as the water is rushing past. You kind of get pinned in, and you're sort of getting blown over by the water and the
And I'm
pressure
kind of
of it.
like, as soon as the detonator gets wet, I'm letting it go. Because
Alright.
my main goal was to just like make it wet so it's not really usable.
Mm-hmm. And just roll me a Constitution roll.
Constitution. Oh, that ain't very good. Oh, hey.
All right. So, so you manage to hold your breath when you need to as the water rushes over you, but eventually pull yourself free. So, as everything sort of settles out, the three of you, Lucas, Jeremiah, and Hudson, you look around and you see the dam has not been completely destroyed. There was a good amount of water that went over it and flooded down into the creek. So, you're pretty sure there's going to be some damage back in the town when you go back.
Yeah.
But
Not as bad.
looking around, you see no sign of Delilah, of Jed, of the Reverend, as they got washed away, and you don't know what happened to them. You mean you can assume? So what do you do in this moment as you see the water rushing over the top, the creek below filling up and rushing down a little ways?
Does
Where's
it?
Jack?
Jack is still behind the building, tucked in behind.
I think I would call him out. Hey, Jack, did you get to come out, you cowardly son of a bitch? Everything's gone.
And he will.
Everything's gone.
He comes back out looking around. He's like, just has his hand on his head. He's like, I couldn't that thing. I couldn't.
I'm gonna shoot him.
Oh shit.
Oh shit!
well, you're fucking lucky Delilah isn't here.
Holy fuck!
Roll, you're point blank, so roll with an advantage die.
God.
Oh, you're so lucky Delilah isn't here. I'm not even gonna think about reacting. How do you do point? How do you do?
I'm gonna have you re-roll the damage. So you do shoot him. You roll it again regular to get the damage. Because I have no idea how you get that number.
What?
Your macro's broken.
Yeah, hang on. Let me see your macro.
It should.
I've never seen that before. That's so crazy.
Oh, it's dividing. All right, I got this. So point blank, or which gun are you using? Your shotgun?
Yeah.
All right, so 4d6.
Okay.
I'll roll that. 4d6. Oh shit. So you blow Jack's head off.
Oh. I think Jeremiah was kind of like getting himself, like taking everything in, and all of a sudden there's a and he's just like, holy shit!
Yep. Jack flops to the ground, dead.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh my God.
I'm taking over the Pawheton River.
Oh, okay. Lucas is.
If it's left, like,
I don't
does it?
think anyone's gonna say no. So
Based on how much the dam's been damaged, how much water, does it look like it's substantial damage? Do we think we can tell?
There's gonna be some damage, but like you pointed out, Hudson, it's mostly a tent city. So I mean, but so Jack collapses dead. Lucas declares his intentions to take over.
And I'm renaming it Delilah's Place.
Aww.
That's really sweet.
You better keep my girl Calliope or I'm gonna come and haunt you, Lucas.
All right. Well, I know, Kelts, you have to head out.
Yeah. I'm sorry, you guys.
That's all right. We'll
No.
finish up just what everybody's doing, and then or we can do, if you guys want to do next time, we can do like a final after.
I mean,
I just have a
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we know what happens to Delilah.
yeah. I just have mine's pretty quick anyway, so
Yeah, I can stick around for a few more minutes. It's not.
All right, cool. So,
I want to hear what everyone happens at too. So
all right,
I can be late.
nice. All right, so Lucas declares he's taken over and renaming the Pawheton Original for Delilah.
What are you doing, Hudson?
are we like looking towards the future a little bit of like what our character ends up, or are we like I don't know where we
You
are.
all have a funeral for Delilah, please.
Well, we will,
Yeah.
but assuming everything's done,
Mm-hmm.
are we done? We don't know.
Mm.
Jeanette is being silent.
Yeah, no, like
Okay.
we're saying
I was
future.
sure if this is like the epilogue.
Yeah.
portion. Okay. Hudson has a funeral for Delilah. I assume we all do.
I
And
think I
then-
appreciate, yeah.
He walks into the sheriff's office, flings a badge at him, and goes, "Go fuck yourself," and leaves town on Sable to go start a new life somewhere else.
Oh.
Okay.
Because
I
he
think-
can't live in Pawheton anymore without his wife.
So,
It's too painful, so he leaves.
I think the first thing Jeremiah does, after like checking on the town and everything, is probably ride along where the creek was,
Mm-hmm.
and look for any sign of the Reverend or of even, Jed or Delilah, because he's kind of like worried, like what did happen to them.
So yeah, you would have found both Jed and Delilah down the creek. And you do eventually, after searching for a bit, find one of those husky, grotesque shells that look like one of those creatures. And you think that this must be what's left of the Reverend.
Okay.
Or so you think.
I
So
think-
you think.
I think Jeremiah, despite his horrible fear of fire, would probably like see if he can burn it or something just to get rid of it. And then after the funeral and everything, I think if Hudson lets him join him, is also gonna leave town.
Yeah, Hudson would let him.
So ride off into the sunset together,
Sounds good. And somewhere in the actual beyond, Jed and Delilah went
we
together.
get married, goddammit.
Yes.
We get married in whatever place we end up.
Where there are no bug angels and no creepy tree-like tentacled
I hope
reverends.
not.
And Jack officiates the ceremonies. So yes, that is
Oh my god.
Thank
I
you
could have
guys.
saved
so
Delilah.
much. And Jeanette, thank you. That was really super fun.
Yeah, thank you guys. Holy
Yes, that
crap.
was fun.
Guys, thank God I thought to dismantle as much dynamite as I could.
Yeah, really. That was a great idea.
So that is the end to this Wretched West story. There may be more Wretched West stories in the future, but thank you guys for playing. I know Kelts, you have to head out, so we want to do
Yeah.
quick outros, and then Kelts is out of here.
Not a whole much to say. Just thank you to all you guys, man. It was something I looked forward to. Even though I missed a few sessions, like I cherish these couple of hours I got to spend with you guys every other week.
Why don't we start with I don't know, Dylan? Got anything you want to say about the game, and any plugs you want to make or anything like that?
Well, it was very fun. I'm glad I got to do like a lot of stuff with Jeremiah, because like the pyrophobia came up and he had like his whole thing that happened this session, so that was really fun. Gosh, yeah. Thanks, Jeanette. I mean, you're the person who's run Call of Cthulhu for me twice now, so it's been fun. I don't know, you know. I don't know what else to say. As far as plugs go, on Saturdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Twitch on Power Score RPG, I play in Dungeon of the Mad Mage, where we're doing Undermountain stuff, so you can come see that. And also, I don't have a date for it or anything, but I've been thinking of running some one-shots. So, you know, in the future, come watch that.
Woohoo, one-shots are good. And how about Brooke? What do you got going on? What'd you think? I'm sorry about Delilah.
So going into this, I've kind of got D&D 5e burnout.
Same.
To be completely honest, which is why I jumped on the opportunity to play this game I knew very little about. And horror is not usually my go-to genre of things to watch. And the sun is coming right in my window. Okay, that's better. I felt like I was squinting. So I lost my train of thought. Yeah, Delilah shocked me, the decisions I made in character multiple times over and over and over again. Specifically the Jed Delilah love thing. I got attached to the NPC and then made decisions, basically. And no, it was a lot of fun. I'd roll dice with all y'all again. As for things that I'm doing every Sunday over on SS Adventure, I'm in their Rebirth campaign over there, where I play as Laro the Asmar Barbarian. And yes, that was not a misspeak. She's a barbarian and a bard. On this Monday in the mornings, noon Central Time, I have a Hunter the Visual game where we just all survived our first hunt, so that was cool. I'm kind of excited to see how things get amp up on that game. And then I run a D&D 5e game on the opposite Monday, so next week and every other week thereafter, where we play in Ravnica, only I'm splashing all sorts of Magic the Gathering stuff in the game. Well, never mind, I won't spoil it, but you should watch it. It's all highlighted over on my own Twitch channel. I'm also thinking about, I have a lot of small, quick play RPGs or short campaign RPGs that I want to play. That may be Sunday evenings, though.
Ooh.
And it'll be a thing that it might be rotating cast that might keep a couple of members the same depending on schedules, so it's not a long-term commitment for people to commit to. Otherwise, the best place to find me, because occasionally I'll do one-shots like Little Red Dots Sunday Fun Day, and things like that when they come up and they fit in my schedule. Best place to follow me is on Twitter, to find out what I'm doing. There, I'm super distracted and super tired. I'm sorry.
No worries. And Jamie.
Hi, I'm Jamie. I had a lot of fun in this game, especially since I didn't die this time.
Yay!
And I'm very glad my whole plan coming into this was dismantle as much dynamite as I can, because that really helped us out a lot.
Yep.
And you can find me on Saturdays on Power Score RPG's channel, Dungeon of the Mad Mage. I may or may not be playing this week. I have a thing that day, so I'm not sure if I'll be back in time, but you can catch me all the other times. And that's all I have.
And I'm Jeanette. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you to my players, because they're awesome. And I enjoyed having them, and I want to do more things. And if they come back in other groups, or if we do other things and they all come back, yay. I'm going to try in 2 weeks to do maybe a one-shot Cthulhu. Aw, thank you. Thanks, Tom. I'm going to try to do maybe a one-shot Cthulhu for that evening, because I'm in between deciding what to do next. I think I'm going to put a poll up this week on my Patreon to see what one shot I should run. Otherwise, on Sundays at 4:30, every other Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which would be this coming Sunday, we play Skull and Shackles as a 5e game. Yep, Dylan plays pirate in my campaign, so that's cool.
I forgot about it, yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's cool, though. No. So, and I will be in the Mad Mage crew on Saturdays on Power Square RPG. And starting on Thursday night on Dammit Barry's Twitch, I play at 7 p.m. in a Horde of the Dragon Queen campaign. And starting this Saturday evening at 7 p.m. on Scotty Hood's Twitch, I'm joining his Saltmarsh D&D campaign, which will be every other Saturday from there on out. So, yeah, I got a lot of games going on. It's cool. But yeah, so thank you everybody for coming along. Sorry about the last minute glitch on here. Thanks for such a good adventure, guys. I, threw a lot of stuff up in the air to see what happened, and yeah, you guys made it great.
I think it landed pretty well.
Yeah, I never knew what was going to happen, so woo.
You're welcome.
Awesome. So, all right, I will see everybody later. Take care, everyone out there, and we'll be back with some Cthulhu very soon. Bye, friends. Thank you so much.